Hello, my name is Tony Bradford. I'm the Credo Facilitator located in Pensacola, Florida. I'd like to talk to you today about personal resiliency. When I use the term resiliency, I'd like you to ponder the thought, what does resiliency mean to you? How do you put this term into practice? Our definition, resiliency is the capacity to rebound from adversity, stronger and more resourceful, an active process of endurance, self-righting, and growth in response to crisis and challenges. As we reflect during this training or during this moment, I like you to think back over your time. I often get this definition of rebound, the ability to rebound. And what are we rebounding from? Adversity. And when we rebound from this adversity, we're stronger and more resourceful. We've learned something. We grow from these experiences. So when we talk about this term, resiliency, I want you to know that it is the ability to rebound and bounce back. We're dealing with a trying time right now in our country with COVID-19. A lot of people are staying at home, teleworking, wearing masks, gloves, things of that nature. We've lost a lot of people to death. In this time, I would like us to think of how will we rebound, because this is an adversity. This is a crisis. This is a challenge. How are you dealing with this challenge? Most of you, I believe, are learning to adapt, improvise, and overcome. As you look at the screen, you see this tree metaphor that we often use. This is an analogy. The analogies are recovering, resistant, and reconfigured. This research was done by Laporte and Levinson. It is a wind-blown tree analogy. Recovery is described as a severely wind-blown tree that bends without breaking, and after the wind stops, returns to its original shape. They call this pre-stress functioning. This form of resiliency involves psychological elasticity. Resistance is described as a tree that appears unaffected by the wind. Essentially, it stands strong and does not bend or break under stress. And finally, resilience as reconfiguration is described as a tree that bends when blown severely over time. And because of the severity and prolonged nature of the wind, changes the shape or accommodate to the effects of stress. So as you reflect and think back over your life, when we talk about recovery, being that tree that recovers, it bends, but it doesn't break. And it comes back to its original shape. What are some things that have tried you in life that bent you, but you didn't break? You were able to withstand it. And then we have those resistant trees or resistant people. You're able to withstand the different things in life that challenge you. And it doesn't change you at all. It doesn't even affect you. However, there are some of us that have been reconfigured by different life events, different challenges of life. So again, as we go through this training, as we go through this video, I want you to do a lot of reflecting. But again, not dwelling over the things of the past, but learning, growing, becoming resilient from the things of your past, present, and your future. This is something I learned when I was a SARC counselor on active duty. I went to a lot of different self-help groups in my training and referred a lot of people to them. And one of the things they learned in this training, or something that was said, at the beginning of all the self-help groups, AA, NA, whatever it may be, is a serenity prayer. This is the full serenity prayer you have in front of you. But I just want to focus on this first part. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Part of being resilient and part of being able to rebound and grow is accepting what you have control over and what you don't have control over. That is a big part. Acceptance. What can I change? There are some things you can't change. They are what they are. But being able to move on from it and grow from it. But this is something, again, I encourage you to ponder and meditate on. And this is something you may want to apply to yourself. Resiliency factors. Here are some things that contribute to resiliency. All of us have some things, but as you look through this, skills in communication, problem solving, and the capacity to make realistic plans and take steps to carry them out. When we talk about resiliency plans or realistic plans, we're talking about things that can actually be accomplished. And then we take the steps to carry these plans out. This third one here, a positive view of yourself and confidence in your strengths and abilities. A lot of us don't know our strengths. We have some idea of our abilities, but I would like to encourage you to find someone you trust and ask them, what would you say are some of my strengths? What are some of my abilities? What are some of the things that I'm good at? And once you hear what others think of you, what others acknowledge as your strengths, you can start to develop a positive view of yourself. Some of these resiliency factors is the ability to overcome, to adapt and overcome. There are some positive things that we can all do. But first, we have to identify those things that we can do. This other one, the capacity to manage strong feelings and impulses. I often equate this one to those that have made it through boot camp. Regardless of what branch of service you're in, you made it through boot camp. You were able to suppress some of your feelings, some of those impulses, when those drill instructors were saying some not so nice things at you, but you were able to endure and press forward. There are things in life that oftentimes being in the grocery line and it's long, being able to suppress and manage our feelings. We have the ability to do it, but we must do it on a consistent basis. So you have the capacity, again, acknowledging some of the things that you bring to the table, some things that contribute to your resiliency. We use a model of total fitness that encompasses mental fitness, physical fitness, spiritual fitness, and social fitness. On a scale of 1 to 10 in each category, how am I feeling today? Resiliency is not technically a personality or character trait, but a state of being that must be nurtured. I would encourage you, as you look at this biopsychosocial, spiritual model of holistic health, that you start nurturing these different aspects of your life, your mind, body, spirit, and relationship. And if you are not nourished, I encourage you to reach out to one of the chaplains, reach out to a friend, someone that can give you some advice or encouragement. How can I strengthen these areas of my life? That I may be whole, that I may be sound, that I may be complete. Learning from the past. A better life involves learning from the past. Here are a list of questions you can explore of your past in order to have a more hopeful future. Read this list and think of your life. Reflect. What are some things that allowed me or helped me make it through? Again, this is a moment of self-reflection. Which of these things have really helped me in the process or the ability to be resilient or rebound? Here are some ways you can strengthen resiliency. Making social connections, support. Making social connections or support, those are major steps. That is finding those that you can trust, those that can encourage you, those that can pour into you. That is that social support. These people are not judgmental, they're not condemning, but they're supportive. They don't give you a pass, but they hold you accountable. Again, ways to strengthen resiliency. Going back to that, accept change as a part of life. I would encourage you to read a book that I read while I was on active duty. Who Moved My Cheese? It talks about change, nurturing a positive view of life, keeping things in perspective, taking care of yourself. Religious faith and spiritual growth, two different things. Religion is what you practice. Spiritual is what motivates you. It's that inner man. It's what guides it. It is what directs you. All these things are factors or things that you use to strengthen your resiliency. These things give you the ability or help you rebound from the different challenges of life. Again, are you using any of these things in your current life? Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Worrying about the past, the future is unproductive. 2 days of the week should be worry free. Yesterday and tomorrow. How much time do you spend in the past and the future? It's necessary to spend a little time in both to learn from the past and plan for the future. But the bulk of our time should be spent in the present. The past is history. The future is a mystery. The here and now is a gift. That's why we call it the present. I encourage you to focus on the present, where you're at right now, what you've accomplished, how you've been able to rebound, what you've overcome, and you've become stronger. I would encourage you when you have the opportunity, when we're able to stand back up and meet in person, please join us for our Credo workshops. Have a fine, fine Navy Day.